Hey, welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. It's a beautiful Friday, and there are a lot of things going on in the area. And you know, it's rare that we get to meet somebody of David Schultz stature. I mean, this guy is a photographer. He's world-renowned, and he just got back from an amazing trip to Portugal and Greece, right?
Yes, Greece.
And you've got, well, you've got some pictures that you're going to be showing off, as it were.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what you found over there.
Well, I own a gallery, Westlight Images, on Lower Main Street, and I had the opportunity to go to Greece for a couple of weeks. A tour company that's interested in doing some photo tours there brought me out, and so I spent about 10 days in the Zagoria region, which is a mountainous region in northeastern Greece. Not often traveled to, you know, everybody thinks of the islands,
right,
and
of course, yeah.
Athens and such, but this, there's a area called the Vikos Eos National Park, and they've grandfathered in all of these old villages into this national park, and they have to retain their authenticity. You know, they got, everybody has to have the slate tile ceiling, you know, and
that's good that they do that, though, because it really does. It's kind of like here in Park City, where there are certain codes that you want to make sure you maintain the feel and the energy and just
and this is going
beauty.
back hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
It was very interesting.
We've got some of your pictures up here on
oh, yeah.
the monitor.
This is a little village called Vitsa, and that was the very first thing that I saw when I got to that region, was that one little actually that was the day before.
This one,
this
one doesn't look too much like windows and doors.
No, well, it was actually a store window that I was
walking
I see.
in
front of that a friend of mine that I had
you stand there
met,
next to the underwear models.
So, yeah,
there you go. That's
go.
A classic look.
So I spent several days in the northern part, and then on my own went down to Santorini. And instead of trying to hit a whole bunch of islands, it was my first time in that area, I tried to find one spot and really work the subject and work the area, because it takes going back to a location sometimes over and over. I mean, I've got shots that have taken me years to finally get it in some nice light. And so I spent a little over a week in Santorini also. I mean, these arches there, I saw them painting these about 3 days earlier, so I went back.
Oh, yeah, this would be a great shot.
Bright, fresh paint. And
I love the lines.
Yes.
And that's the great thing about the geometry of some of the composition. Look at that.
That was right in the little town of Ia, which is, you know, everybody recognizes the blue dome churches with the white walls and such. And so I got a few of those shots, but to me, these little doorways and windows and such, and that's the theme of what I'm releasing in the gallery this evening.
Okay.
And it's the windows and doors of Greece, and it's just fun images that I found.
How do you feel like, for yourself, how did you develop an eye to find some of these things? I mean, obviously, some of it is innate, some of it you're born with, but you talk about working it and going back and looking at the colors and the lighting.
Yes.
Where did you come to, at some point in your life, you went, you know what, I'm pretty good at this, and I like it?
Well, I went from a background of fashion photography, and there were a couple of photographers whose work I really liked, and it didn't dawn on me really right at first that it wasn't just the attractive women that I enjoyed the photographs of.
Of course.
It was the lighting that they were creating, and for me, I'm not good at creating light. I'm good at seeing, you know, situations where you have streaks of light coming in and just highlighting certain areas. My work is really known for the real vivid colors that I capture, and it's understanding how different lighting situations affect those saturations and that you get. Everybody thinks, oh, you gotta have bright sunshine to get those bright colors, and it's almost actually the opposite, depending on the situation. And just years. When I moved out to Utah about 20-some years ago, I'd go to places like Bryce. I was getting from the commercial to the nature and landscape. And I would go and I would photograph these places, and I would come back and look at them, and it's like, oh, you know, well, there's some nice images of a pretty place, but they weren't, you know, all that interesting. And you know, just slowly realizing again that it was the lighting, and again the name of the gallery is part of that. Westlight Images.
Yeah.
The light out here in Utah and in the West is just, I mean, everybody knows about our bluebird days where you just get that crystal clear air and, the deep blue skies, and, that's kind of how it came off.
Well, and I would imagine that you've got plenty of subjects and scenery here in Utah, but there's so much out there. And one of the things I like about some of the photos that you have, some of your work is less about overall scenery, more about actually contrast and the composition. I mean, it's very subtle but very clean. I love the clean, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, the vivid colors, but it's very open. I mean, it's
less is more sometimes.
I
as the
agree.
saying
I agree. I
goes,
mean, like that shot we showed just a second ago with the doors and the chair.
Yeah.
It's
and everybody's walking by. It's a pretty busy area, shopping area, and they had just painted that, and they stuck the chair up there to keep people from going up the steps, and it was roped off. And to me, I mean, it was just boom, there's a shot.
Yeah.
Everybody's off photographing the blue domes, and,
checking
the
their email.
and such. Yeah, and I'm setting up my tripod. People are going by looking, and I did have one person that stopped and said, "God, never would have thought of that. Thanks for the idea." And and that's what I enjoy talking about. Yeah,
very good.
This shot here, and
That's
just
the one.
even the chair itself has got so much character.
Well, there are a lot of photographers that will try and stage their shots a little bit, where you'll see things showing up in the shot that weren't naturally there. It does create some interest, but one of the things of just catching things in their, I guess, in their raw beauty is really a gift to be able to see it and to reproduce it. When you travel, are you one of these guys? You have like instead of taking all kinds of clothes, you've got like 15 bags, and you've got lenses and filters and
and now
batteries.
People talk about now you don't have to carry all the film, and it's like, yeah, but I got 3 external hard drives, a laptop,
exactly.
all these chargers, none of which work with other, and 10 cables, and so I carry more.
Talking to one of our photographers here who also does a lot of work with Sundance, and he was telling me that they did a shoot down in South America that took them, several weeks, and once they got there and started doing the shoot, they realized, wait, the electricity here is not the same, so they had to bring in a generator to do their shoot. So you don't think about that as a photographer. Tell us a little bit, real quickly, what's going on tonight in the gallery, the times, and what we can expect.
Well, the gallery, Westlight Images. I'm in Lower Main Street, down in the Marriott Summit Lodge, next to Atticus bookshop and coffee shop there. We're doing the windows and doors of Greece. We've got live music, some Greek music that's going to be on. We've got, that's the Chris Dokas band, bouzouki player. Got Greek food. My assistant is Greek, and her mother is cooking up more and more Greek food, I understand.
Spanakopita and baklava.
I don't know.
Who cares? It's all good, right? Yeah.
And last night I spent the night sampling ouzo recipes.
Of course.
So, got to come up with... A little
for me, a little for that, a little more for me.
Come up with a combination, It'd be easier if it was vodka, but it's a hard one to mix.
And you're going to be on hand, of course, to answer questions and to help people make their decisions on any of your shots they want to buy.
Tell them stories behind those images, my work in Antarctica, and a lot of the local stuff. We're also having a drawing, too, for a free 2-hour private lesson with me. And so if you stop by, drop your name in the hat, and we'll have a drawing at the end of the night. And so you have the chance, people, to get a free lesson.
David, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
So please make sure you stop by the gallery tonight, the Westlight Images on South Main Street. What time do you open tonight?
Well, we're open all day, but the galleries
the show tonight
starts at 6.
Okay, all right, there you go. And do you have a website that people can go to?
westlightimages.com.
Perfect.
Or Facebook.
Perfect. All right, we're going to be coming right back with the answer to trivia and more on the Mountain Morning Show. It's coming up next.